well when you look on film as it looks like he does when we're watching live, where it looks like he's dominating games? When you watch film, is it the same thing?
Yes. I would have thought that you guys would think that he's not because his stats aren't up. Because he does do so many good things in there. But his production's just not up. You know, the stats and the numbers. But as far as technique and all that, he's just constantly getting better, like I've always said about him. His desire to get better, and you know, he just absolutely loves defense tackle now, where before he didn't know if he even wanted to play that. So all that stuff's good. But yeah, he's playing very well for us, and you don't really notice it until all of a sudden you realize that you're in the top 5 in total defense. Like something's happening up front, you know, that where he is playing really well against Alabama, you know, to really control what they did. He really is.
Coach, who's your most improved defensive lineman since for the last over the 5-game span?
I don't know over the 5-game span, but I mean, just today watching film, I was telling my guys how good Marquise Haynes is becoming. You know, for being a true freshman and really playing with 0 game experience, he's just constantly getting better. And the sky's the limit for that kid. He's so athletic, and I just see him getting better and better every week.
Do you feel like have you seen a complete, dominant performance? Do you feel like your line can still get better, like you haven't seen what they can do yet?
Yeah, I wouldn't say we've seen a complete dominant performance. I do think we're playing at a high level with a bunch of guys. You know, like this week going into A&M, I think that plays into our hands that we have 8 to 10 guys that are playing. You know, a team like that is going to be tempo and get 80 plays a game. It's where you can rotate guys and not feel like you're missing the beat. So I think overall as a group, I'm very pleased with the way they're playing. I wouldn't say we've just had a dominating performance. Obviously, as a defense, you would say Memphis was statistically, but we can constantly get better. Yeah.
Coach Freeze was very complimentary of their offensive line on today's teleconference. What are your thoughts, the challenge of facing ahead on Saturday?
They are a good offensive line, no doubt about it. They've recruited well there for a while at that position, and it seems like they lose first-round picks and then just replace them the next year. So, you know, both tackles are very polished. The center obviously has great bloodlines, and, you know, they're mixing in some guards right now because Harrison's just now coming back. But overall, they play well together, and, you know, they do a lot of things in their offense that helps their O-line be that way.
There's a lot of talk about their passing game, but how is their running game? What do they try to do in that when running the ball?
Basically, they're just going to play a numbers game on you with a spread 4 wide receiver offense. They're going to, if you take away the receivers, then they're going to make you pay for it in a run. And then as soon as you load the box, now they're going to throw the ball. So you have to find ways to be able to defend both. Obviously, that has a lot to do with winning first down, as always, and getting them into certain situations. But, you know, Arkansas, that first half, they just continued to try to run the football, and they had some success with it. So the first thing we have to do is stop the run, just like always, even though they are a passing team.
How difficult is it, though, to transition from the type of offense Alabama had versus what you're facing this week? From a defensive line standpoint.
Yeah, I don't know. Basically, it's just getting to the kids what kind of offense it is, because that part is different. But when it comes down to it, the technique is the technique, and Robert's eyes have to be on the guard's tip of his pad every time, regardless. You know, high school, college, SEC, spread, power, football. It does not matter. Defense line, you better be playing your key, have your eyes right, and react. And so it just all comes back down to that for us. But you know, presenting them the game plan. Here's what Texas A&M does. You know, I think our guys really have a good idea what they're facing now. So,
All the injuries you guys faced last year, how much of an impact did it have on guys like John Youngblood and Brian Bennett, the amount of snaps that they had to play?
I mean, I think it's just a great experience for everybody that, you know, we have 8 to 10 guys that have all played a lot, you know, besides Marquise obviously being a true freshman, but so much experience combined for the whole group. I just think goes a long ways, and you know, you're going into this. This will be the most hostile environment most of these guys have ever played in. And, you know, we tell them all the time our environment changes, but we don't. We're just going to play our football and do our thing. And there's not a guy that I don't mind putting in this game.